Hello, my name is James Chell, and this is my presentation on PHP if, else control structures. First off, what do they do? The if statement executes a piece of code if one condition is true. The if-else statement executes one piece of code if the condition is true, and a different piece of code if that condition is false. The if-else statement executes a different code for more than two conditions. And the conditional if uses logic operators. And the logic operators that you'll use are equal to, not equal, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and, or, and not. This simple bit of code and this illustration demonstrates the sequence of operation for an if statement. It starts out with sum, and this here shows sum equals 10, and that will be represented as the input. The input goes in and it hits the first if statement. It says if the sum is greater than or equal to 25, then it'll echo red. But in this case, it's not, so it drops down to the next one. It reads that and says, is 10 greater than or equal to 20? No, it's not, so it drops down to the next one and down to the next one. And on the next one, it says, is 10 greater than or equal to 10? The answer is yes, so it echoes to the screen green. And now for a quick demo. This demo, let me move that out of the way. This demo I set up using our grading for this class. So the objectives passed is listed as 6. But if I change that to a 4, save it, and run, it changes the you passed 4 objectives, your final grade is a B. So what this is doing is it's looking at, first when you run it, it puts in the objective. It has the objective right there. And it goes down to the first one and it reads it. And if it doesn't agree, then it drops down to the next one. And it finds one till it agrees. And then it says objectives passed is 4. So it says, okay, that is true. So I go down here and I output B. And this down here is just a simple echo statement, so it shows up on the screen. So then it writes out echo, you passed, and then it calls this here, the numbers that were passed, and it prints it out to the screen. And then it runs this one. It echoes out your final grade is, and it goes up to this and grabs it from here. Now, one important thing to remember about the if statement is that it gets the first one that is true, and it outputs that. So this is essentially the same code, it's just written backwards. So here it says the objectives passed was 6. So it should read as an A. But because of the way it's written, it sees objectives passed 6, and it goes down here to the first one, and it says objectives passed. Is objectives passed greater than or equal to 1? Well, that's a true statement. So when we save this and run, it says objectives passed. You passed 6 objectives. Your final grade is a D. That's because this is true. 6 is greater than or equal to 1. So it kicks it out here and it doesn't run any further because this one is true. This has been my demo on if statements Thank you very much for listening, and bye.